What? Black man can't eat ice for breakfast? What's wrong with y'all?
According to scripture, Austin 3:16 says, "I just whipped your ass."
Yes.
Which is weird because Austin 3:1-15 is just a nice story about Austin cooking a nice meal for his best friend. The Texas Rattlesnake is probably the single most popular and important WWE superstar of all time, even more so than Hulk Hogan. But has it all been plain sailing? You know it hasn't. That's literally how these lists work. Come on, sort your bloody life out. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Steve Austin. Number 10, he only wrestled twice for ECW. Austin achieved no small measure of success in WCW. He was part of Paulie Dangerously's Dangerous Alliance. He won the TV title, the US title twice, and held the tag titles with Brian Pillman for 5 months as the Hollywood Blondes. But despite all of this, he hadn't found that voice, that famous stone-cold anti-hero persona. Enter ECW. After Austin was fired from WCW for being unmarketable, solid business strategy from Eric Bischoff there, Paul Heyman, remembering him from his alliance, gave him a job in ECW. It was there that Austin cut vicious promos on WCW, born of real frustration, calling it where the big boys play with each other. This pissed-off redneck persona was the germ of what was soon to become a megastar, and Austin played up how important ECW was to his career during the One Night Stand 2005 pay-per-view, where he emerged as the locker room's de facto leader. However, what they wanted to forget about his time with ECW is that he only wrestled 2 matches, both of which were against ECW champion Mikey Whipwreck, both of which he lost. Then WWF snatched him up and he was gone, having never picked up a single win. He kayfabe attacked women, sometimes with steel chairs. Hey, Austin's heel run of 2001 was ill-advised because at the time you couldn't pay fans to boo the Rattlesnake. He was just too popular and had to resort to extreme measures in order to sell his turn. He beat up an announcer, which is a good first stop on anyone's journey to the dark side, ask The Undertaker or CM Punk, but he needed to do more. So he beat up the Hardy Boys, including Lita. He hit her with a steel chair over and over and over again. Also, Austin has stunned just a whole bunch of ladies, including Chyna, Stephanie, and Linda McMahon in the worst sold stunner of all time. Man-on-women violence will not wash today, so it's probably best we all move on. Number 8, weeping manly tears. Speaking of Austin's heel turn, in 1995 in ECW, Austin laid the foundations for the Stone Cold character. He was a tough-as-nails son of a bitch that swilled beer and stomped mud holes in people's arses. The character was presented as such over the next half a decade. Even in his early WWF heel run, he wouldn't give up, run from a fight, or compromise his badassery. In 2001, they tore that all down. He would tell Mr. McMahon he loved him, hug him, sing Kumbaya, and begin to slowly lose his mind. It reached a nadir in his feud with Kurt Angle. The Olympian blindfolded him on a bridge, tied him up, and threatened to throw him into the water. Austin begged, pleaded, and finally wept. Now, there's nothing wrong with dudes having dude feelings, but this represents the final destruction of the man that was once the Texas Rattlesnake. For shame. Later that year, Austin returned to the old Stone Cold, tough-as-nails sumbitch, and the paddling pool incident was forgotten. Number 7, he refused to feud with Jeff Jarrett. Much is made of Hulk Hogan flexing his creative control muscles or Shawn Michaels' backstage politics, but Stone Cold Steve Austin was also no stranger to the occasional tantrum. It's a persistent rumor that he refused to put over Triple H at SummerSlam 1999 out of personal spite, and there are other incidences, but notably being his refusal to feud with Jeff Jarrett in 1999. Austin just straight up said, nope. No one knows why for sure. Perhaps it was because Jarrett's father Jerry once allegedly stiffed Austin on pay earlier in his career, or that Austin held a grudge when Jeff mocked his 316 gimmick on his first TV promo. Perhaps Austin simply thought that Jarrett wasn't on his level. I mean, he wasn't, really. Sorry, JEFFJARRETT. Number 6, 2002 feud with Eddie Guerrero. What could have been? Eddie Guerrero, one of the best workers in the world, versus Steve Austin, one of the biggest stars of all time. They could have created magic together, and were all set to in 2002. WWE actually rehired Eddie Guerrero after firing him previously in order to give Austin a great opponent. And they even aired a segment showing Guerrero and Austin having a bar fight, during which Guerrero knocked out Austin with a bottle. But nothing came from it, because Austin left the company shortly afterwards. Oh, we'll get to that. The company never mentioned their issues again, probably so as not to make fans feel the sting of losing what could have been the feud of the year. Number 5, he was the goddamn ringmaster. When Steve Austin walked into the WWF, he was already a known name from WCW and ECW. Not wanting to mention rival companies on air, WWF decided to try and bury his history as best they could.
I saw his
teaming him up
debut.
with Ted DiBiase, crowning him the $1 Million Champion, and referring to him simply as the Ringmaster. Oh dear, oh dear. You haven't seen him wrestle, said DiBiase when he introduced him. Yes, people had. In failing to capitalize on the work that Austin had done elsewhere, they were starting his career on the wrong foot. As soon as he successfully lobbied to drop the persona, it was never heard from again. Number 4, Brian Pillman's Got a Gun. Well, it was compelling. You can't say it wasn't. In 1996, Austin was feuding with former Hollywood blonde partner turned mad bastard, Brian Pillman. He Pillmanized Brian's ankle on TV and then threatened to come to his house and whoop his ass. Pillman did an interview from home where it was revealed that he had a gun, the greatest tag team partner of all time. Austin broke into Brian's house, Pillman raised the gun, and cut to break. People around the world had to endure commercials for Gillette whilst wondering if a man had been shot on national television. No one had, obviously, and it was revealed that Austin was safe, but it was one of the most controversial angles in the history of Raw. Some people even see it as the official kickoff of the Attitude Era. After all, today, guns would never ever make it on screen in the PG era, unless of course they were in a trailer for the Marine 4, but no one will ever care about the Marine 4. Number 3, he has wrestled Hogan in a tag match. Hogan versus Austin.
Yeah, I saw it.
Never happened.
I saw
Why
it.
the hell didn't it? They were both in the same company at the same time, and WrestleMania was right there. There's rumors that both men refused, but still bad form. Of course, what no one remembers is they have wrestled. On March 11th, 2002, on an episode of Raw, Austin and The Rock faced Hogan, Hall and Nash in a handicap match. They interacted. Austin got a hot tag and took it to Hall and Nash while Hogan stayed on the apron. Then Hogan tagged in and body slammed Austin, who then tagged The Rock back in. Hulk Hogan body slammed Stone Cold Steve Austin in a wrestling match. That is the sum total of their interaction, but hey, it's better than nothing. Number 2, he walked out on WWE in 2002 in the worst way. In the spring of 2002, WWE wanted Austin to put over Brock Lesnar in a King of the Ring qualifying match. He refused. Not, as he alleges, because he didn't want to put over the young star, but because they were giving it away on free TV. Throwing away a money match offended Austin, and when the company insisted, he no-showed Raw on June 10th. The next Raw, the company destroyed Austin on global television. Vince told the fans that Austin wouldn't be returning, JR denounced him, and even The Rock made a surprise appearance decrying Austin for taking his ball and going home. Austin regretted the decision to walk away, made good with Vince, and returned in 2003 and has been tight with the company since. But this is the darkest blot on his copybook with the company. Well, maybe the second darkest. Number 1, the charges of domestic abuse. Well, nothing funny about this. Austin married Deborah Marshall in September 2000. On June 15th, 2002, Austin was arrested and charged with domestic abuse. He pled no contest, faced a year's probation, 80 hours of community service, and was fined $1,000. In 2007, Deborah went on Fox News to claim that Austin had hit her 3 times, but that WWE had put a gag order on her because had such a thing been made public, it would have cost the company millions. In a world where everyone rightfully condemns Chris Brown for his actions, Stone Cold has largely avoided such a fate. Calling it a different time is a cop-out, and maybe people are just infinitely more forgiving to the Rattlesnake because they don't want to tarnish their favorite wrestling memories. It's a horrible, murky subject, and no one in the WWE wants you to mention it, ever. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and you can even follow me on Twitter, here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.
That was nice. What else is on?
The following trailer is rated H for honest. From the developer that will never make software again comes the game series that fell from grace harder than Bill Cosby.
Ouch.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Enter the universe of the Tony Hawk games that have as much in common with actual skateboarding as tech decks. You'll kickflip, grind, and Benny Hanna your way to the top of the professional skateboarding world without destroying your actual body. Experience the game series Activision grounded into the dirt with a pile of annualized sequels that rival Call of Duty, featuring the classics that everyone loved, the ones where they added a bunch of random systems, the mobile versions, the clones, the inevitable decline, and the $120 nail in the coffin that destroyed Tony Hawk so completely, there was finally room for another skateboarding game. Oh man, Skate was so good. Hit the street succeeds as one of the many real pro skaters that are either super rich, dead, or Christian motivational speakers by now.
I turned to John, I was like, who's John? And then I went to Psalms. I was like, what's Psalms?
Then become the ultimate poser as you scam yourself into the game. Or just build a monstrosity and create a skater. Prepare your mind for a fat dose of the early 2000s, and you return to an era where Bam Margera was a celebrity.
Hello, butt nuggets.
How the hell did this guy ever get a TV show? Get ready for the gameplay that became the industry standard for skateboarding games, and prepare to routinely pull off impossible tricks that would make a real Tony Hawk in his pants as you travel to a series of places you should never ever skateboard in, like a foundry, an oil rig, a sewer, Area 51, and New Jersey.
What?
Jersey tweakers. So immerse yourself in the skateboarding game series by which all others are judged, and get yourself ready for the actual best part of the Tony Hawk series, the music.
True.
I would joke about this. This is really good. Starring Slider Man, Iron Manual, Django Flip, North Fall, Oh My Spleen, and hashtag Shrek. Late 90s, the video game. Oh man, Tony Hawk's in his late 40s now? And I thought this series hadn't aged well. Be sure to subscribe for more honest game trailers.
Yeah, I remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. They were fun. What else is on?
The following trailer is rated H for honest. From the studio that's pretty much just a toy company by now, comes the fourth generation of the alchemical wonder that turns children's dreams into cold, hard cash. Pokemon, Diamond and Pearl, and Platinum. Join once more to the magical world of Pokemon and prepare yourself to face yet another painfully slow tutorial segment, teaching you mechanics that haven't changed in a decade. Young child, bad parents, tree named professor, evil team, elite four, blah 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 blah. Get ready for a Pokemon experience that's deeper than any that came before it, featuring the return of the day-night cycle, Pokemon that can only be caught on certain days because your life doesn't revolve enough around the game already, the iWatch, a muffin baking metagame, contests that are 3 times longer, and the inevitable conclusion of the Pokemon franchise, auctioning Pokemon on the internet. They're really going all in on the slavery thing, huh?
Damn.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay formula that basically hasn't changed since the original Game Boy game, as you collect them all and form a diverse team of battlers. Or just steamroll every single fight with only your starter, because this game is for children. For the same storyline and characters from every Pokemon game there is, including the Professor, the Rival, the Evil Gang, the Gym Leaders, and most importantly, 107 new Pokemon that make one thing perfectly clear. Game Freak has run out of ideas. Bet your sweet ass we're still gonna name them all. Starring Turdwig, Chia, Chimpanzee, Orango Flame, This Ape is on Fire, Twitter, Crappy Feet, Empoleon Dynamite, Good Feathers, Lumpy Space Beaver, Justin Beaver, Jiminy Cricketot, Sir Crix-a-Lot, Shinks for Nothing, Suxio, Gives No Fucks Ray, Dank Badoo, This Hand is a Flower, A Little Horny, A Lot Horny, Dr. Sheldon Cooper, Castle Face, Weekend at Burmese, Weekend at Burmese 2, The Motham Prophecy, B-Movie, Beyonce, Part Jeezy, Sting Like a Buzel, Floats Like a Butterfly, Cherubi on Top, Pop Your Cherum, Snail Trails, I Need About 350, Handjob Monkey,
What the
Thumbs
fuck?
Up, Mile High Club, Cauliflower ear. Ear fists. Black mage. Hail Honchcrow. Glammeowth. Resting bitch face. Do the stunky leg.
What?
Rover. Hog slammer. Rosie the robot. Trees nuts. Future pedophile.
What?
Kirby. Toucan Jam. Ghost Barf. Street Shark. Shraptor. Sharkadactyl. My neighbor Munchlax. Watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Glory holes.
What?
Hippodon. Get over here. Come at me, brah. High as goiter. Feed me, Seymour. Finian's Wake. Future Sushi. Dick Van Dyke. Four-leaf Snowbird. President Obama Snow. Evil Coeval. Don't let me get in my Magnazone. Licky Licky $5. Rocksteady. Cousin It. Needs manscaping. Dodge this. Never been toga kissed. Probably Australian. Leafy on a jet plane.
What?
Bags. Krabby Patty. Kevin Smith. Balloon Animal. Sword Arm Online. Mr. Potato Head. The Ghost of Dr. Robotnik.
What?
Memoirs of a Ghostia. Poke Appliances. Mew 3. Mew 4. Mew 5. Horse Armor DLC. Gay Thilla. Party Machine. Flying Armored Senate. Pass. Blue Balls. Shigami. A Shrubbery. And my kinky pony. Monster Rancher. White and off-white.
Who's that Pokemon?
Oh, it's Pikachu, isn't it? I bet it's Pikachu. Come on, Pikachu.
It's Raichu!
Me every time. For more honest game trailers and
You crazy as hell.